What's up, everyone? It's been a little more than a year now since I've been uploading cycling videos to YouTube. Content creator per the language of YouTubers. I thought now it's a good time to speak on the settings I've been using to create the cycling videos with my GoPro Hero 8. So till date, I have predominantly made POV footages. I've divided these footages into 5 categories, namely one, the regular usage, two, when I vlog using the front camera, the third would be the POV footage from bottom bracket of my MTB. The fourth would be Timewrap videos or other hyperlapse videos. And the fifth would be generally when I go on a trail ride. I will run down in detail the settings with regard to my regular usage, including the Protune settings I follow, and will only try to explain the differences from my regular usage for the other categories. So let me switch on my GoPro. So these are my three shortcuts that I use, which has got all my settings. I will take you through one by one. Now let's go to my regular footage. So as you can see here, my resolution is 4K with 60 frames a second. Reason why I do 60 frames a second is because in post I have the flexibility to decide which footage I can speed up to slow down without losing the quality of the footage. And as you can see here, the view of the lens is wide angle. Now unfortunately for 60 frames a second I can't use super view. If you see here, if I change to super view, it goes back to 4K 30. So the maximum available is in 4K 60 is wide angle lens. Hyper smooth as well is not available in 60. By the way, I applied the super view with the hyper smooth boost on only for my trail rides in 4K 60 frames a second. Uh, it only there is only on option available and there is no boost. But I should say that there is no drop in quality, or rather the footage is not bad even if it is in on and if I don't get a boost quality of stabilization. Now coming to Protunes, which is the most important section in the entire gambit of videography. So first is the bitrate. You have standard and high. I always keep it at high because I want the best quality footage that this camera can give. I would rather sacrifice space for getting the best quality available. Coming to shutter angle, this is or rather shutter speed, this is the only setting that I keep in auto, because as I don't have an ND filter, if I change it to 1 by 18th rule, my exposure goes really bad. Hence I allow the camera to choose the best setting it could give. Coming to exposure value, I generally keep it at -5, or rather minus 0.5 or -1, so that my highlights have not lost when I sit for color grading during the post processing. Coming to white balance, I generally keep it at 5500 kelvins for a bright daylight, which is normally available in Bangalore. I change it to 4500 kelvins only early in the morning. Now coming to ISO min, which is always 100. ISO max, I keep it at 400 always. I don't go beyond 400. Max to max, I change it to 800. Only when it is really dark, say in the evenings or early mornings. Now coming to sharpness, I keep it at low. I would rather do corrections during my post production. The same is the reason for color. I keep it a flat color, or what you call here raw. I would rather do my color grading myself in post rather than allow GoPro. Coming to wind, I always keep it on. I am pretty happy with the voice quality available in this GoPro. I am not too concerned about wind noises or having a pro level audio quality for my cycling footage. With regards to the next activity, I use for talking, or rather when I want to vlog, that is when I want to capture myself in the front screen. I use this option wherein I change the frame rate to 30, lens angle from wide to linear, and keep the hyper smooth on boost. So that will help me to keep a stabilized footage even while having a walk anywhere on rough roads. So next would be the bottom bracket view on my MTB. I keep it at 4:3 aspect ratio. By the way, all the other regular footage are all 16:9 aspect ratio. I This is the only time where I change the aspect ratio of 4:3, because I could get a much bigger view vertically than horizontally with this aspect ratio. Now coming to time wrap. So all the Protune settings are the same, including the lens angle, except that I keep the speed at 15x. The ideal speed according to me would be 10x for cycling, but unfortunately the hyper smooth stabilization is not effective at 10x, so I bump it up to 15x. With that, I think I am done with all my settings that I've been using over the last 1 year. So hopefully see you guys on my next ride.